everybody, it's Lori here to do my first tag here on BookTube. So thank you so much, Gina, for tagging me in this Yes Chef tag. I am so excited to be a part of this great community. You guys have been so warm and welcoming to me. I just started this channel recently. I do have a different channel here on YouTube, so I've been doing videos for a little while, but it's so exciting to launch a new creative venture and to have people just reach out and be so warm and welcoming. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've written down the questions for this book tag, and I will tag a couple of channels down below. So check that out. I will also put the questions in the description box if you want to answer along with us. You're more than welcome to. Please go ahead and answer the questions yourself in the comment section down below. Okay, so the first question here is, have you ever read a book about or written by a chef? I have. It feels like 100 years ago. I believe it was, is it My Life in Paris by Julia Child? I feel like it's been a long time. I should reread that. I should probably add that to an upcoming TBR list. I was going to do, this is a little bit of a spoiler, just a preview, a little preview upcoming. I was going to do a month where I focused on some books that had some cooking themes in them, so I should add that to that list. Add that to that? Yes, add it to that list, and I think that'd be fun to reread. It's been a very long time. Our next question is, do you notice food descriptions in books? Why or why not? Absolutely, I do. 100%, I absolutely do. I was just noticing my little, my little dudes, my little peanut butter and jelly for Valentine's Day. I'm like, yeah, that kind of works for the food theme today. It's funny. I absolutely do notice food themes, and I really like all of those things like activities of daily life, as I say, what a character does for their job, their discussions of their family, what they eat, errands that they run, how they clean their house. All of those kind of things gives us a peek into the life of that character and the people around them. So I absolutely love that. I love books that talk about food and have recipes. Always makes my mouth water. So absolutely, I always notice books that have food in them. Next question we have here is, what book have you read that had the best food description? I actually have a couple of series that I really have enjoyed that has had great descriptions of food. I talked about this one a little bit in my Cozy Mystery Recommendations video, where I talked about Diane Mott Davidson's series with Goldie the Caterer. Oh, the food just sounds amazing, and there are recipes. So if you're interested, I would highly recommend checking those out. She uses that as a way of stress relief, cooking for herself. Obviously, that's a job. She enjoys sharing her talents with other people as well to kind of cheer them up. And so it's a big part of the books, and I really loved that part of it. It really sucked me in, was one of the first Cozy series that I read, and I'm looking forward to going back. I want to try a couple of recipes. I have in the past, but it's been a while, so I'm looking forward to doing that again. And the other series that I really enjoyed was the Jan Karen series, which is the At Home in Mitford. It is a religious series, so if that's not your thing, that's totally okay. I understand. It is a series about an Episcopalian priest, his neighbor, and this town throughout the years, all of these wonderful things that happen. And you get to know the characters in such a deep, rich way that I absolutely loved it. And food is a huge part of that series. So much so that I ended up buying the cookbook several years ago. This is laid out by the different books. So the recipes and the food that is talked about in there is in here. I've made a few of the recipes, more than a few, and they are excellent. My favorite, I'm trying to think some of my favorite foods. I know it sounds so simple, but it was like this roasted chicken. So the food just sounds absolutely incredible in those books, and I highly recommend both of those series. Next question is, have you ever been inspired by a book, not a cookbook, to prepare a specific food or meal? Absolutely. That Diane Mott Davidson series, I have definitely made some of the recipes in there, like I've already said. Same thing with the Jan Karen books. I have cooked several things out of there. Also, this is going to sound a little weird, but I was a little inspired by the Sue Grafton mysteries, Kinsey Millhone, if you've ever read those. So there's like A is for alibi, so it's the ABC murders, they call it. And she goes all the way up to, what did she get to? She did pass away. Did she get to Y? Ugh, I think she might have. Anyway, character is not a huge cook. So it's kind of weird that this would inspire me, but a hard-boiled egg, and she slices it warm, puts it on some white bread with some mayonnaise, which I know sounds weird, but it just sounded really good, and I did try it, and it was. So strange how things can inspire you sometimes in books. And so definitely I have tried different things based on books that I've read. I'm sure there's way more that I'm forgetting that I have tried over the years. The next question is, do I have a favorite cookbook? Yes. And I pulled out a couple, which was kind of funny. So when my mother passed away a few years ago, I inherited her cookbook collection. And it's funny because my mother was not known for her cooking. She was not a great cook. And I grew up in the 80s, and we had a lot of microwave food, which is, you know, interesting. If you've never had microwave meatloaf, count yourself lucky, because it's great and it's not good. I have her cookbooks, and one of them was this Betty Crocker cookbook right here, which is interesting. And mine that I purchased myself is this one. So we have a few decades difference here. Thankfully, I am a much better cook. I will say, I don't cook things in the microwave. That's the first thing. That's your first clue. It's a good place to start anyway, is not to cook your food in the microwave, but here we are. And yeah, so I have quite a few, actually I have quite a few cookbooks. I have collected them over the years and absolutely love them. I have quite a few, but this one was the one that I was kind of giggling over because we both had the same cookbook, just decades apart. Okay, so the next question is, if you could share a meal with one author, dead or alive, who would it be? Kind of talked about this a little bit in my cozy mystery video as well. My favorite author of all time is Lillian Jackson Braun, who is the author of the Cat Who series, and she's the top of my list. Who would I want to have dinner with and discuss her series? She probably, you know, it probably doesn't mean as much to her as it does to me. Maybe it does. I don't know, but I'd love to talk about it. Her books kind of ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, I would say, at least for me. At least I think so. We'll talk about that in a second. I would certainly love to hear some of the reasons why she did some of the things that she did in her series, and just talk to her about being a female author in the 60s writing mysteries, which wasn't as common, obviously, as it is now. So that would be a fascinating conversation, and would just love to meet her and talk to her about her beloved series. And the last question that we have is, if you had 24 hours to live, kind of morbid, and you could eat one meal and read one book, what would it be? This is going to be a little bit surprising. So talking about the Lillian Jackson Braun series, I have not read the final book in the series. I've not. There are many reasons. Well, there's a couple of reasons, not many reasons. There are a couple of reasons for that. I had heard some spoilers about it when it came out, and I was kind of disappointed. Unfortunately, it was back before, you know, it was a big thing not to give spoilers away. And when I heard about it, I was really disappointed. And with the death of Lillian Jackson Braun, I just kind of wanted to leave the series where it was in the previous book. I guess at that point, if I knew I only had 24 hours to live, I would finish the series. But I think I'm okay with it right now, because in my head, the last book is a certain way, so I'm all right with it. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'd probably have, for food, I mean, I like food, obviously. I would probably have some kind of lobster tail and steak kind of dinner. I don't know, with a really nice glass of red wine. Probably enjoy the book. That's probably what I would focus my attention on more so than anything else, because it would be a treat to be able to read a new Lillian Jackson Braun mystery for the first time. Okay, so my feet are falling asleep sitting on the floor. I thought I'd try a new angle today. And this is the second time filming it, because I ended up filming with the sunlight in my face, so I'm hoping this is a lot better. I will go ahead and put these questions in the description box down below. Please answer these questions in your comments. I'm super excited to see what your answers are. And if you would like to recommend any books that have great descriptions of food in them, I would love to include those on an upcoming video that I have planned for the channel. So thank you again, Gina, so much for including me in this tag, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.